Hey everybody, it's Briggsell here, again, with another World of Tanks video. I bet you're sick of these now. The reason for this video is hopefully going to be quite short, but the reason for this video is about how to set up a tank. Now, there are several ways you can set up a tank, but the main way you need to set up a tank is to work out first what sort of tank it is you're working on. So, you're choosing a line, you're starting off from scratch. You choose, say, for instance, the American line. You go for the tier 1. From here on, you've got a big choice. You've got, do you want to go the SPG route? Now, for me, I don't know nothing about SPGs. Sorry, that was really bad English. I do not know anything about SPGs. So that is something that I will not cover in this video because there's no point, because I don't know. We've got medium, we've got light, we've got tank destroyers. We've got under the light line here. Now, the medium line will get you, the immediate medium line will get you 2 heavy tanks. It also has a nice little branch to get you off to a medium area as well. The light tanks at the top will only give you light tanks, except when you get to tier 5, where you get the M7, and then from there you get another 2 light tanks, and then you get another tier 8 tank, which then gives you medium tanks, because there's not very many light tier 8 tanks and plus. There's not, in fact there's no, I don't think. I think there might be 1 or 2 light tier 8 tanks, but no 9 or 10. The tank destroyer route will take you down. Especially this tank destroyer route will give you 2 lanes of tank destroyers. I'll explain what the difference between the 2 lanes is in a minute. You also have the range of premium tanks, which are useful to get if you, 1, have the money, and 2, want to be able to participate in tier 8 battles earlier than you would expect to if you were just leveling up a line. Also, they give you a bonus in credit making, so if you are wanting to get credits without spending gold on credits, which is a very silly thing to do, then get a premium tank. Now, the 2 lines here, the first line, the MAA1 line to the tier 11 T110E4, that is the mobility route. That is maneuverability and speed. The T40, the Wolverine, the Jackson, the T25, the T28, the T29, and the T110E3. Technically, this is the power route, the strength route. You've got decent front armor in a lot of these tanks. You've got decent armor on the later tanks, even better, and a powerful gun. So it's up to you which one you choose. Now, for instance, I have a American tank. I've got 2, 3, 4 American tanks. One of which is light, 1 is medium, 2 tank destroyers. So the light tank, why and what should you put on a light tank? Well, to begin with, if your tiers are, say, 1 to 3, you probably don't need to worry about actually equipment putting on, because you unless you actually keep that tank and build up your crew on it, there's no point using it any further. You sell it on and buy a new one. For me, there are specific tanks that I really like. The T2 light tank, for instance, is a fantastic investment. I put one of the best investments I've ever made in the game, because it's incredibly quick. It's incredibly good when you get really up and close and personal with other people, because your gun is very high rate of fire. It's got a decent penetration, and it's got minimal damage, but that's because of the gun type. Now, the equipment I've placed on this tank so far is the light ventilation class, which improves your crew skills, which is quite needed, and a small spore liner to a protection against ramming and explosions, which is quite useful. You could add maybe the optics, allow you a bit better range to spot vehicles with. It's probably useful tool to have, because obviously you're a light tank, you're moving quickly and you're working as a scout. Let's move to the M36 Jackson, which is a tier 6 tank destroyer. Now, what have I got on this one? Well, I've got, for a start, the medium caliber tank gun rammer, which gives you a bonus for reloading a weapon, which is quite useful because for tank destroyers you want to get as many rounds down the field as possible. I've got a camouflage net. It's not really necessary, but it can be useful because it just gives you that little bit of an edge when it comes to being detected. For this tank, you really want to be face on to your enemy because your front armor, whole armor, is 114mm. It would be useful probably to have at least the binoculars or the coated optics. One or two, probably the binoculars. I'd use the binoculars. I keep saying binocular. Why? Binoculars gives you 25% view range for stationary vehicle, which is tank destroyers want to be stationary a lot, so binoculars are very useful. Now, the final medium tank. I haven't got a heavy at the moment, so I can't really deal with that. But heavy, medium. I haven't got anything on this tank at the moment because I've only just really started using it. But you'd want the improved ventilation class, the crew skills, get your skills up. You probably want the rammer. And you probably want maybe not necessarily the rammer actually, maybe you'd want the coated optics and the aiming device, that way you can get quicker aim. I mean, it's really determined on how you want to play the game, and bear that in mind that this is all based on what I would like to play. Right, let's go on to something a bit more heavier, say for instance this Tiger II. What have I chosen? Well, I've chosen the Vertical Stabilizer Mark II. When I'm moving in my tank, the tank bumps up and down. This allows for 20% accuracy during movement and turret rotation. So it basically means that I can move better on the move. Aim better on the move. Tank rammer is almost necessary for when you get up to these big guns because this only fires 5.26 rounds a minute. You want to improve that as much as possible. This allows 10% on top of that. You've got then the ventilation class 3, which is a bit expensive, but improves the skills of your crew. Which now, having higher skills in your crew allows you to do things better. Your aiming will be quicker. You'll move that little bit quicker. You'll turn that little bit quicker. You will spot things just that little bit farther away. Your radio will work better. And just having that little 5% or that little 10% extra in your crew is almost guaranteed to be the difference between winning and losing a match. As you can see, my crew here are getting good actually. I've got 6 Sense on my, and I'm going for recon so I can get maximum view range. My driver has got snapshot, which allows me to accuracy during the turret rotation is really good, and repairs. I've got clutch braking, which allows me to turn my vehicle quicker, and smooth ride allows me accuracy when firing on the move. Also works really well with the vertical stabilizer, that's why you get it. Signal boosting extends signal range, probably not the best one to have chosen, probably not. I've also done extended view range. This is for the radio man. You could have probably put the repairs in there, it might have been a bit better. I've got Brothers in Arms, which improves major qualifications and all skills for the entire crew, gives that little bit of a kick, and also repairs for the loader. If you hover over your skill, you can actually see my commando is 105% because of the ventilation class. My other crew are a bit more because of the commander. The commander gives your other peeps a bonus. So my gunner and my driver and my radio man and loader are all at 116%, which is very nice. So it's all about the way you want to set up your vehicle. It's not necessarily about the penetration your gun can do or how fast it can move. It's sometimes all about the equipment that you use. and sometimes it's all about the skills that your crew have. So remember that when you're coming up onto a new tank or a new line. Choose your line wisely and choose the tank that you actually particularly want to focus on, which is always a good way to do a specific line. It gives you a goal. Like for instance, I wanted to get to the Cromwell. I got to the Cromwell and I've kept it ever since. And the reason why I focus on the Cromwell is because it's got a very quick and manoeuvrable body and tank in general, and I've played 243 battles with it, and I only started playing it about a month ago. So it shows if you really want to stick and focus on a specific tank, you can do wondrous things. My efficiency is really good in this tank as well, so I'm very pleased. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it hasn't been too boring and arduous. Just giving you a little bit of insight on how to actually set up a tank. Remember, this is all my opinion. This is all based on my experiences of the game. They are likely to change based on what people think and what people do. But if you are interested or want to know more about these tanks and how they should be set up properly, then obviously the forums, the World of Tanks forums and the wiki are always interesting places to find information. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. See you next time.